Northwest Comic Show.
What?
The Northwest Comic Show. The greatest thing ever.
The Northwest Comic Show is brought to you by Skye's, where there's always something fun to do and something good to eat in downtown Salem at Skye's.
The Northwest Comic Show is also brought to you by Marvel Universe Live.
Hey, what's up? It's Casey with the Northwest Comic Show. I'm with Ruth Connell, who's in Supernatural. How are you enjoying the show here at Yukon?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. We're lovely people and real sweethearts. And we just did a photo op with Baby. We've got the car over there as well, so that was super fun.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Baby the Car's here from Supernatural also.
Another character from the show, right? So.
Yeah, it is. It really, yeah, they have ruled that cars are officially characters too now.
Oh,
yeah.
We didn't need that rule to know that about Baby.
Yeah, Baby's a beautiful character, all herself. Now, you did a lot of stuff. You did a lot of Broadway, right?
I did a lot of theatre in Britain before I came to America. Supernatural is my first American TV show.
Really?
Yeah, I landed on my feet, hey.
No kidding.
And a good job. I love it, yeah.
Yeah, she hit the ground running. So what is your favorite here? Is it Broadway or do you think television acting?
They're completely different, and I love being an actor when I get to act, whether it's a voiceover, whether it's on stage, whether it's on TV or in film. I just, they're all different disciplines, but I love them all. I have a film coming out called Harakiri. It's online at the moment. You can download it on iTunes and all that, and that's like an independent film I'm super proud of. It's completely different to doing a play to the Supernatural, but yeah, I love it all.
Now, you've produced some plays, right?
I had my own theatre company in Britain, and it's a labour of love, and I've helped kind of a couple of the short films that I've been involved in. I've kind of tried to help them out a bit as well, and that's moving forward. I'd like to direct for sure.
That's exactly what I was going to ask, if you were going to be interested in some of those other creative aspects in film.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I think the world needs more female directors. We've got one over there.
Absolutely, it does. I couldn't agree with you more. Well, I think that's cool. That's exciting because you're going to go from, like you said, television to producing and directing and things along those lines. Cool. Well, we're going to look forward to that. All right. Well, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, it's Casey with the Northwest Comic Show.
Woohoo!
And it's a show about comics, pop culture, stuff you'd see at a comic book convention. Today, we have Skye.
Hey, everyone.
And you are a craft vendor at comic book conventions and things like that, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So you brought some crafts with you.
I did. I brought a nice, fun selection of Steins, and 3 of them currently are actually inspired by comics.
Oh, cool.
Kind of showcase my skills a little bit. A lot of organic curves in some designs, and some fine detail, and other cuts are just simply, pretty blocky and angular.
All right, now is this called etching?
Yes.
Etching, okay.
And you're taking away the first couple of microns of the glass, basically getting rid of the polish, and...
Micron. That's
yes.
like a little thin layer of glass you're melting away,
yes,
right?
less than a millimeter is what I'm taking off.
Okay, let me see. Let me feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Now this one is actually
even hardly feel a difference.
done with cream etch.
Okay.
And so what it does is it actually leaves like it makes it softer, is what it feels like, versus, you know, a grainy texture. So where it's etched, it feels soft, almost like velvet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so let's start with step one. What is step one?
Step one's
on
deciding on what you want to draw. Actually, it's
Okay.
deciding what your design is, and in some cases you want to break it down. Like for this one, I did for a company that is crowdfunding student loans to do a fundraiser for them. I wanted
Wow.
to do a bear because their logo is actually a bear. So I wanted to do a little bit more realistic, but still, you know, kind of happy.
A happy bear.
Yes.
A
Yes.
happy bear. Good.
And they're actually, it's a trivia app that 75% of all monies brought in get put towards student loans, and now they're starting to do mortgages,
Oh, wow.
where they'll do like a maximum amount of those loans or mortgages.
Okay, so you did this design to help with a charity.
Yes.
What's it called again?
It's actually a for-profit company. It's
Oh,
called
okay.
Givling,
Okay.
Givling,
Okay.
and they just give away 90% of the profits.
Wow.
Like for every coin bought, every bit of ad revenue bought, you know,
Sure.
from people interacting with ads, 75% of it goes towards paying student loans, is where it actually started at. 15% goes towards the daily prizes, and 10% goes towards keeping the lights on. They actually are a community-based crowdfunding, you know, company.
I see. Okay. All right, so that inspired you. That inspired the bear.
me. Yes.
All right, once you have this image that you've decided, like in this instance a bear,
Yes.
you come up with it, you draw it on paper or something?
I actually will draw it on paper first because I need to know where the breaks are. You literally have achromatic. You're not doing any, you know, details or depth, so you actually have to break what you're doing apart
Okay.
in order to actually have any illusion
It's like
of
segments,
depth.
chunks. Like, okay.
So what I'll do is I'll draw it out until I've got it where I need to be, and then I'll put it onto vinyl.
Okay, so you draw it, and then you transfer that image somehow onto vinyl.
Yes, I usually use a light board.
A light board.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll just put my drawing on it, put the piece of cut vinyl over that, turn on the light, and start tracing.
And then what happens after it's on vinyl?
You apply the vinyl to the glass. You got to make sure all the bubbles are gone. Otherwise, there will be room for the etch cream, or if you're sandblasting, the sand to actually get in there and etch outside of where you want them to be etched.
Okay.
And once you actually apply the vinyl, you cut away the sections you're etching. Clean it up with a little bit of Windex. Yes, when you're working with the etching fluid, it actually says, hey, use an ammonia-based Windex to get all the little bits of adhesive from the vinyl off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
because otherwise it won't etch at all.
All right. So after you put the vinyl on the glass, right?
Mhm.
And then you apply cream to it?
You cut away the sections you want to etch, and
Okay.
then if you're doing the acid cream, you apply the cream,
All right.
nice and evenly, nice and smooth. And that's one of the reasons why you're doing as much breakup as possible, because if you do a big flat area, you actually get to see all of the flaws inside the glass itself that's hidden by the fact that it's polished on the outside.
Okay.
So there's a lot of internal flaws, and that actually is what gives you the texture when you're doing the cream etching.
How'd you learn how to do this?
Honestly, I had a friend of mine go, I wanted to do this, and you know what? It's just not me. So here, you have fun with
They
it.
gave you the stuff.
They just gave me the stuff
A
and
friend of yours gave you the stuff to do this.
gave me the stuff to do it, and I literally went from there. The very first thing I etched was a lucky bamboo onto 3 sides of a 6-sided tea jar.
What do you do after? What's the last step?
Once you get the cream on You wait a set amount of minutes. I usually go for 5 to 7, sometimes as long as 10, depending on how deep you want the etch to go.
Sure.
And then I scrape off the excess because I like to reuse what I can and reclaim what I can. It's only what's up against the glass that's actually, doing any work. So I'll just scrape off the excess, put it in a different jar, and then rinse it off.
And then you just rinse off the glass.
Yep.
You peel the stuff off and you rinse it off. So anyone can do this? Where do you get this?
Anybody can do this.
Wow.
Anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes time. You gotta definitely be about planning because you get one shot and that is it.
So anyone can have their own they can make their own labeled glasses.
Yes.
But they should go to you for it. They should talk to you
Oh,
about
if they
it,
want to,
shouldn't
yeah,
they?
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I've been doing this for so long.
How did they get in touch with you?
Well, you can contact me with Dragon's Den Studios on
Okay.
Facebook. I also have an Etsy page. And if you want to purchase, directly, you just email me through the page. I also have Dragon's Den Artist at gmail.com, which is the official email for Dragon's Den Studios.
Okay. So if people want to talk to you about this, pick your brain and stuff like that, they go to Dragon's Den on Facebook.
Dragon's Den Studios on Facebook, yes.
Okay. That's really cool. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate it. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks. We'll be right back with some clips from different comic book conventions, and Bentley Michaels is going to be doing some stand-up comedy. Thanks. Hey, it's Casey with the Northwest Comic Show at Wizard World, and I'm talking with Audrey, too. How are you enjoying this comic book convention?
Good.
Good. It's going good. And you're making music with the side of your head, right?
Right.
That's what's going on? Did you get any good toys?
Well, I did get a cool Lego one. Look at it.
All right, we're going to look at it. That is a cool Lego one, officially. Is there anything else you want to see here? What else do you want to see?
You mean say or see?
Either one. Anything you want to say or see? More toys? You want to see more toys?
Yeah?
Yeah? Any comic? Do you like comic books?
Yeah?
Comics?
Mickey Mouse one.
Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Whoa! There's a Mickey Mouse comics here?
Yeah. I mean, there's no Mickey Mouse comics here.
Oh, there is no Mickey Mouse comics?
Nope.
I'll bet there's Mickey Mouse comics somewhere around here. Let me see. Who do I know that has Mickey Mouse comics? Keith Tucker. Maybe you should see if he's got some. What do you think? You want to go see Keith Tucker?
Yeah.
Yeah, go see Keith Tucker. He's got some animated cool ones. Cool. Well, hey, it's nice talking to you. Thanks. Hey, the Northwest Comic Show is incredibly excited to welcome the amazing Bentley Michaels. All right. Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you for all having me. Out the gate, I'm a stepdad.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming you all thought the second I walked on stage. Like, yeah, that guy's probably stepdad. You know? Either that or he's cosplaying as Vin Diesel, and that's weird.
Oh, no, not at all.
No? You like the cosplay as Vin Diesel? I'll keep that in mind. Apparently I would kill at Comic-Cons. Yeah, I'm a dad, a stepdad of 2 kids. I call them my kids because I've known them since they were 1 and 5 years old. My son was still young enough to, the first time I, said, hey, to his mom, just go out and have fun. It'll be great. And we're just having a great time. And then it comes, the obvious time where you do the change of the diaper. But then, you do the change, and then, you go to sleep, and underneath, he was like, I've got another plan for you, and I'm not done. And then it was just... And I'm just like, oh, it's cool. We're cool. Oh, come on, kid, I'm running out of hand. Just give me... help me out here. But, yeah, now they're 11 and 14. My son is 11. My daughter's 14. And it's been an interesting transition because my daughter's turned into a real 14-year-old jerk lately. And most of the time my son's just like, what is your problem? I was like, look, I agree with you, but you know, your mom and her, they're on the same side. And we are not powerful enough to battle that. But there's only like so much, disciplinary action I can actually have as a stepfather because, and they know that, which is why my son does stupid crap like, constantly he pokes the bear, and that's his sister. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, wait, I'm just hearing it from the other room. And I'm like, 3, 2, 1. And then I just hear like, and then my son go like, World Star! And then my daughter comes running out. She's like, Dad, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Gavin, get over here. When your mom gets home, she and I are going to have a discussion about what she is going to do to you. Yeah, I never feel like less than a man than when it's like comes time to like discipline, because they know I'm a stepdad. So like they know that I'm supposed to like feed them and keep them alive, and that's basically it. Like make sure they aren't too big of jerks, but that's it. But then like their mom gets home, and she's only 5'1", and I feel like, like a backup dancer in like a Puff Daddy video or something like that. She's just up in front like delving out all the words. She's like, you're grounded. Dun, 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 dun. Now, and I'm back in the back. I'm like, oh, it's my turn. Stepdaddy. And then he's like, who is this guy? Get him out of here. Now, I work from home. I'm a voiceover actor who works from his home studio. Who in here knows what a voiceover actor is? Okay, a couple of you people. Good. Okay, so for anybody watching at home who doesn't know what a voiceover actor is, it's basically anytime there's, a radio commercial or a TV commercial when there's a bunch of people on stage or, on the screen and no one's saying anything but like, Morgan Freeman, The Voice, the Penguins, or, most notably the movie trailer guy, in a world where time doesn't exist, which is an actual movie trailer that I've read for an independent movie. Which, to me doesn't make sense because if you don't have time, you don't have a movie. But I don't know. I just cash the checks and, you let M. Night Shyamalan do whatever he wants. But most of my stuff isn't that cool. Like I do like a lot of corporate narration, a lot of corporate training. So like if any of you guys ever got a sweet, job in the mall or something like that, and they're like, they take you in the back, they're here, watch this TV. It explains everything. And then like, it's just some voice like, hey, guys, always be cool to the customers and don't touch your female employees here. That's what I do. That's what I do. Or say, like, you get a bill and you disagree with it. You're like, oh, this is far too high. I'm calling them up. Hello. Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line. That's me. I'm that jerk. Now, recently, I got this really cool infomercial. It was a male enhancement commercial, if you catch my drift. And it was the 18-page one. It was the hour long, so you knew they meant business. And I don't really read, stuff ahead of time when it's that many pages. I just kind of start reading. So I get to like page 18, and that's like, when it's all the medical stuff. It's like, if you wake up with cancer, you took too many male enhancement pills, or like, if it's this big for this long, call a doctor. And I'm just going down the list, and then all of a sudden I get to this one, and I'm just... And guys, we all know how important load size is to most women. What? And I go running upstairs, I'm like, baby, you'll never guess what I just read. She's like, what? I was like, guys, and we all know how important load size is to most women, right? Huh? And she's like, what are you doing down there? I'm like, I'm paying bills, baby! Yes! Your man is providing for you! But like, that's not true, right? She's like, what? I was like, well, you don't want like a gallon of stuff. She's like, no, gross, you're a pig. I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'll go back to my hole. Thank you guys very much. I've been Bentley Michaels.
All right, let's give it all up for Bentley again, everybody. Hey, we're back with Bentley Michaels. Let's give it up again for Bentley.
Thank you.
All right. So that was awesome. What
Thank
you
you.
did up there. Yeah. So you do stand-up comedy, and you also do voiceover work.
Yep. Just recently started to get back into stand-up, which is nice to be going back on stage and making people laughs and creating new bits. I was just texting with another comedian, Ken Hamlet, and I was just like, man, I really hate doing stand-up right now because I get so eager to like perform and like, you know, to make people laugh that like working on new stuff just is my least favorite thing in the world. He's like, oh man, I love writing. He goes, I don't like the performing part. I was like, no man, that's the best part. Yeah, it's funny just to deal with like the whole writing process now and like figuring out new stuff and figuring out, you know, point of view and trying to make it funny. I was saying to one of the people here at the one of your volunteers, I believe, I was saying it was funny to do it for a smaller audience who were all just like, we're doing what now? Oh, we're watching stand-up comedy? Okay, cool. And to like still hear the laughs, I was like, okay, those jokes actually work. Like those are, you know, rather than just being in like a big room, like if, you know, multiple people have gone up before you and that sort of stuff. That's always probably the weirdest part is, because then there's sometimes like you think you're going to do a joke and you're like, oh yeah, this joke always works for me. You do it to a room and it's just like, shut up!
Crickets.
Get off the stage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, although that doesn't particularly bother me that much anymore. Like, just because of working out at the Enchanted Forest for so many years, like, the worst heckle I ever got was this 5-year-old kid. I'm dressed up as an evil witch and I'm sweating. This kid throws bark dust in my face as he walks by and he's like, you're not funny. And the parents like, we're so sorry. He was, you know, we thought you were great, but Timmy's a jerk. No.
I know. I love parents with their level of discipline in the bark throwing at the face situation.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I got all these splinters in my eyeballs now. That's great. And they're just like, oh, we thought you were great. I was like, yeah, no. Yeah, send Timmy down the log ride.
It's like, yeah, thanks. I appreciate you thought I was great. Now beat your child. No, not really.
I'm not allowed to say that contractually at the Enchanted Forest while I'm clocked on.
Yeah.
But beat your child.
We got free time. So.
And I like that you've taken away the illusion, like, you know, most talk shows, they've got like the mugs, and you're just like, nah, we're just going to show them that it's water. Who cares?
It's
water.
Gin. Yeah. Well, it could be. It's something clear. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
You got to do the pinkies for class.
I think I want to have a drink too.
Go ahead.
So, with the writing process that you were talking to me about.
Yes.
All right. You're silly.
Yeah.
He's being a silly guy. Now, with the writing process, what inspires you? Who do you write with, and how's that work?
As far as stand-up?
Yes.
Okay. Stand-up is usually me being at my house going, my kids and my wife are a bunch of bozos, and like something will happen. I'm like, get my phone. I'm like, talk about that later, you know. Or I will be usually talking to my mom. Like there's a lot of stuff that I'm helping my mom clean out, like all this stuff, and I'm finding a lot of old memories. And I'll see old pictures. I was like, and all these memories keep coming back to me. And I'm just like, oh, right, that, man, I was an idiot when I was a kid. I was like, I got to start talking about all this weird stuff. Like, yeah, just tons of weird stuff where, like, I remembered that I got catfished by Christina Ricci on AOL 3.0. You know, you get the disc 55 free hours and stuff.
Nice.
It wasn't actually her. It was some girl in Florida. But for months, I thought I was dating Christina Ricci when I was 12.
Something like that happened to me, too. There was this girl in India, Aishwarya Ray or something. She's some famous actress in India. And
Yeah.
we had a little bit of a
You guys had a
online
love that was-
relationship when I was a kid. My wife didn't know about that. She didn't know.
Well, now she does.
I was in a relationship with a famous Indian actress. So
Yeah,
it probably was really her in that instance.
my dad, I remember I got in trouble because my parents found out because we went on a camping trip for a week. So like I started printing out the conversations, you know, that we were having, and I stuck them in my pillowcase. And then like I took my pillowcase and they went everywhere. My dad was like, "What is this? Casper Cutie 84." I was like, "Dad, okay, look, Dad, it's not a big deal. I'm dating a movie star, Christina Ricci, right now." Like, he's like, "Yeah, she was born in 1980, son. This person is fooling with you." And then he started a fire with it.
So he busted you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
He's
our
like-
love was never to be held again.
He's like, "Oh, my son's
My son's an
buffoon."
idiot.
Yeah, a buffoon. But Okay, so aside from that, you were
Yeah.
talking about how you dress like a witch on the weekends.
Not just on the weekends. During the summer, yes, I do the Enchanted Forest Children's Theater. It's 4 shows a day, and it's Snow White this year, and I play the evil witch.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I've got tights and bloomers and a dress and a long sleeve and a fake rack, and then like a corset with a big old bud on it and a
You can
wig.
just use that one.
What? No, I'm talking like
Oh,
like
legit.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, legit. Right.
Nice. All right. So everyone who goes to
And then
Enchanted
I've got
Forest,
the makeup of like the bar hag from Shrek. That was my inspiration. So I go out there and
Okay.
run around and sing and dance and fall down and do pratfalls. It's kind of like vaudeville meets an episode of like Looney Tunes or something like that.
All right.
Yeah,
So
it's cool.
yeah, for us local to the Northwest, we know
Yeah.
Enchanted Forest. This is what he looks like.
The
when he's
nightmares
not
for the
a
last
witch.
13 years. Yeah, your kids have been. That man is scary. My favorite is like when the
man's a
kids come up to
real-
me afterwards, and they're just like, "You're a boy." I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, the 5 o'clock shadow at 12:30 really just like I had to shave again before I came here because I didn't.
That's not always a tell, but sure. All right. I got it.
Well, this is probably a tell.
Not
No?
necessarily.
Okay. I don't know where you're hanging out.
It's the Pacific Northwest.
Sure.
It's fine. I'm just saying. But in addition to that,
Yeah.
you do more stuff. You just keep doing cool stuff because it's the comedy, it's the live performances
Yeah.
at Enchanted Forest, and then also working with voiceover.
Yeah, working with voiceover. That's something I've always wanted to do. When I lived in Los Angeles about a decade ago, I started doing it like right when Craigslist was, like proto Craigslist. It was only, I think, a couple years old at that point. And I got my first voiceover gig. They needed a noir voice, the dame walked into the bar and then that, all that sort of thing.
Nice.
And it ended up being for an adult film.
Ah,
And like I'm in the booth and I'm watching and like I'm time matching like this stuff and I'm watching and then this door opens and there's a lot of stuff going on. I was like, is this pornography? And they're like, yeah. The 2 guys running the computer are like, ha 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 ha. I hear them over my headphones and stuff. I was like, are we doing this? And they're like, yeah, you seem cool, so we thought we'd surprise you with it. I'm like, all right. I've never been able to find that film online because I don't know how to. It's like what Bentley Michaels noir pornography. I don't know what to do.
all right. Well, I'm sure there'll be some Googling going on. but,
Okay, good. Yeah, email me bentley@bentleymichaels.com if you find it.
Now,
It's in black and white.
where can we see some of your awesome stuff?
I have a YouTube channel, Akin for Pleasure, spelled the most ridiculous way possible. AKIN, the numeral 4, pleasure with a Z. And yeah, there's tons of stuff on there. I'm restarting up a web series that I used to do called Pork Shop, and it's just breakfast sausages in a pan. And they move around and I do silly voices for them. And I'm going to actually kind of restart it on Instagram as well. I'm going to make them about 60 seconds so they can go on that. And then they'll go on YouTube. And then I've got my web series I did years ago called The Mingus Brothers that I'm in with a couple of my buddies. And then most recently I did a short film, a musical short film for Kevin Smith's film Clerks.
Yes.
Yeah, and I played Dante. And my buddy Jared, who owns Capital City Theater, he played Randall. And it starts in black and white, and then, they have a live podcast taping that goes awry. Then Randall eats a table brownie. There's drugs in it. And then Wizard of Oz turns into color, then turns into like a Gene Kelly MGM musical.
Sure.
And then, it ends with like this big group of people all doing the waltz, all sorts of stuff. And then I hit the splits, boom. And
So
then,
you do the splits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it actually. It's really good. I just wanted you to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
crazy.
Did you want me to do it? Is
Oh,
that what you were
maybe you
angling for?
could. You want to do? You want to?
I don't know if the cameras are set up for that.
All right, probably not.
But
If you want to see him do the splits, what's that called? the
it's
musical?
called Inconvenience, a Clerks musical. Inconvenience, a Clerks musical, because Inconvenience was the original title of Clerks, and then Kevin changed it to Rude
Oh.
Clerks, and then, just Clerks. So I thought it would be a fun little homage. And if you're a fan of Kevin, there's tons of references, not only to Clerks, but throughout his entire sort of View Askew universe. And then we got a really great animator named Josh Stifter, who did some of the Smodimations animations, and then also did some
Wow.
animation for his movie Tusk. And he's the guy I showed you that cartoon that I have, that
Yeah.
Timmy Thomas Kid Gumshoe. It's
Yeah.
a little teaser trailer for this boy detective kid show that I want to do. And but he drew them like the Clerks animated series style. And Jay and Bob, and then they come up and there's a little snooch to the nooch. You know, I took Jay's voice from a podcast thing, and then, you know, it's animated, it's live, Jay and Bob, and you see the logo on the brownie thing. It says Jay and Silent Bob's Smokin' Stash, and like that turns back into color, and then it becomes alive and animated, you know. And yeah, it's cool. It was a lot of fun. We shot it over 2 days, 21 hours of shooting. In about 2 days, we went 9 to about 3 on a Saturday, and then about 8:30 to 10:45 at night on a Sunday. That was all the musical stuff, and then worked with a great composer or orchestrator out of New York named Justin Bartu, and a local piano player, Kent Wilson, and who helped me orchestrate everything. So it was a lot of fun. It was the biggest project I've ever done.
Wow.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, you can see it. It's high quality.
And worked with the Baker brothers who did all the filming, and they know about lenses and stuff. So they were just like, yeah, that's a 52 and 38.
They're pros.
Yeah.
It's done well. It's
very cool. A lot of fun.
I'm like, yay, art, and it's local, and it's high quality.
Yeah.
So.
And he does the splits.
Yeah, and he does the splits. So great. All right. Well, thank you very much, Bentley.
Well, hey, thank you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I got ice.
The Northwest Comic Show is brought to you by Skye's, where there's always something fun to do and something good to eat in downtown Salem at Skye's.
The Northwest Comic Show is also brought to you by Marvel Universe Live.
Shout out to my mom. She don't got cable.